This experience has canceled out the necessity to always want to create from scratch, from the script, from writing what each person has to say at what point in time, lights, that, and this. It gave me a bit of liberation to say that you can create from a pot of ingredients less than creating from your own self, like creating from scratch.
And usually in theater, wherever you have a script and the drama is laid out for you on page, and there's directive to say, this is what we're doing now, and this is where we're supposed to, I guess, put on the drama. But this was entirely dramatic, all of it, because first of all, we don't know what we're doing, and there's no script to follow. You don't know who's going to offer what. So going back to that pot of ingredients, who's going to offer what? But there was such a richness to pull moments out, because I can imagine the number of concepts that came out just from these 2 days, and that could be developed into a typical script and all that. But like, if we kept doing that, where that's a moment, let's put it in a time capsule, we'll come back. That's a moment, put it in a time capsule, come back. You can only imagine if this was a year, if this was 2 years, what this could make. It could be something revolutionary.
For 2 days, you are just immersing yourself in your work. And I think that has been the most important thing, because we don't really get chances like that unless you get a residency or something, but we don't really get chances to just do your work.
No, we don't necessarily are given opportunity to collaborate across disciplines. And I learned so much, because usually one would gravitate towards, because I'm a classical viola player, you gravitate towards playing, sticking with your group. And if it's jazz, you stick into the jazz group. But I mean, that being a part of this opportunity, it just broke all these barriers and allowed us to really tap into a world that we would have never, ever have thought of on our own.
I have more questions, because they are words that signal to me now. Provocation, misuse, mislead, misdirect. There's so many words channeling in, and the naming, even the head and the load. Where is the head going? What is the weight that is carrying? There's so many questions in my head about how do you process the ugliness into beauty? How do you carry this across the world to retell an untold narrative? There are so many things in my head that I'm upset about, that I'm aggrieved about, in my not knowing. And I'm excited to know these artists discovering, again, how they then carry this discovery, these new things now, and make it part of the story, their story.
Well, for me, I'd say it's approach. Approach, the manner, the way both Mr. Nhlanhla and Mr. Thulani, they will ponder on the intention. So for me, it was a thing of, if you're gonna move, make sure you move with purpose. So there's a sense of interrogation in me, why am I moving? So now I'm no longer using my body as a reference. I have to go somewhere deep into, find the reason of why am I moving, which for me it leads to simplicity. Less is more.
What I'm taking away from this especially is that, yes, less is more. And intention, it really makes whatever you're about to do, intention will make it real. Even if it's just the lift of a finger, intention.
From what I've learned about this center is, the first thought, or what makes sense as the best idea, it seems like the go-to, but when you never know what you can create and what can come out of exploring other ways. And it seems like it's kind of rooted in the practice and the performance. So it's like the entire piece is challenging how to tell this story in a different way, from a different point of view, using different forms of artistry. So it's just really exciting and dynamic. And I found myself through this whole process just thinking about how else to tell the stories,